What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm Matt, and today I'm joined by Mr. Ashley Dye.
Matt?
I'm very well.
Yeah.
So it's just the two of us today.
Don't sing that song again.
You may... I'm not going to sing the song, no way.
Okay.
No. I was like, which song?
Oh, yeah, that one.
I've erased it from my memory.
Okay.
No, the recent fame we've had has obviously got a bit too much for Dan. He's kind of he's got a bit too big-headed, so we've had to cast him to one side.
Yeah.
So just the two of us this week. If you're new to the show, this is a weekly show where friends get together to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We also then go through the game releases for that week before each picking our favourite games of the week. If you like video game related content, news, let's plays, you can find out everything we do on thegameinitiative.com. The link to that is down below. So, Ash, this week...
Wow. This week.
The Sony Paris Games Week conference went down. There's a lot to go through.
A lot.
So we're going to get straight into it here. They showed off 23 games in total. Some of them are more interesting than others, so there's a couple we might just gloss over. If we gloss over ones that you like, then I apologise, but I did a full write-up of all of it over on our website if you want to go and see all the trailers in more detail. So... They kicked off the show with some third-party stuff. Saw a new Call of Duty Black Ops trailer for the zombie mode that's obviously very familiar with Black Ops, which a lot of people like.
Yeah. So the zombie mode they've called The Giant.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. So I like that mode. I remember when they first had it back in the original one, and the fact that they keep coming back to it is...
It's nice.
It's nice. It's a nice little extra to have there.
Yeah.
So we saw that. Obviously, that game is out... end of this week.
The 6th,
end of this week.
Yeah, it is.
So look for that. Another game, then they moved on to... the reason they showed Black Ops was because they now obviously have the exclusive DLC on PlayStation. They stole that from... I didn't steal it, but...
I think they paid for it very
They paid for it quite a lot of money, I'd imagine.
I think so.
But another one they've got exclusive content for is Star Wars Battlefront. So we saw the launch gameplay trailer for that. Again, Ash, looking very pretty game. Very pretty game.
It continues to, I think, be impressive. It's just every trailer they bring out for this, and you cannot go anywhere without Star Wars just being in your face. It's just such a massive franchise at the moment with the film coming up and the game and everything else coming together at the same time.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think after the success of the beta they recently ran, they've upgraded the sales estimate on the game from 10 million to 12 million now. So that's that's a lot of units.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not GTA, but if you take away GTA and Call of Duty, that's kind of after those top two, it's then coming in at that sort of level. That shows you how big this game is going to be.
It is going to be big, and they've also got this console bundle as well, haven't they?
Oh, the Darth Vader console. Yes, which looks slightly better than the Call of Duty console, which is hideous. We then had a fighting segment at the show. They went with Street Fighter V first. The big news of that was the release of a new character or returning character called Dalsim. He's a veteran of the series, apparently. I don't know. Are you a Street Fighter fan at all?
I was many years ago, but it's not something I followed through. It was just I enjoyed it for a time. Whether I'd still enjoy it now, I don't know. I'm very much a sort of button smasher.
Yeah. No real skill, just hope for the best.
Yeah.
So that game's coming February 16th, so we've got a date for that now, which a lot of people will probably be, everyone of the series will be happy to hear, but it's only a couple of months away. We also got an announcement for Tekken 7, and then they showed us a nice little trailer which went through the history of the Tekken series, showing you kind of all the games from Tekken 1 through to 7, which was quite cool. No details on release date other than indicated possibly next year. Yeah, and whether or not there's any Sony exclusive content that wasn't said, but you would imagine there must be at least something if they're kind of having it at their show.
I would think, I think we're probably,
Street Fighter 5, I believe, is PS4 console exclusive, so I would imagine Tekken, they'll get something, I'm sure, but we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Next up, we went with Gearbox's arena shooter Battleborn. If anyone not familiar with this, it seems to be multiplayer centric. I think we spoke about it before.
Months ago we spoke about this, and I liked, it gripped me instantly. I think I liked the idea of this. It's a good looking game.
Yeah, I like the art style. It's similar similar-ish to what kind of Gearbox has done in the past with Borderlands, and kind of not the same, but kind of that very kind of like vibrant colour, arty style, rather than kind of going for the realistic graphics, as it were. And the game looks good. There's some humour in there. You always see it in the trailers. All the different characters, lots of different weapons, but it's just, for me, multiplayer shooters not my foray.
That's the only downside to the game, I think. Yeah, I mean, it intrigues me. I like the look of it, but the multiplayer aspect, arena shooter, is not ideal.
There's plenty of games that I can play on my own, so I don't need to worry about ones that do. But that's coming February 9th, if you're looking forward to that game. Then we got the first new game of the show. This one was called Boundless. It was quite a weird sort of trailer. It looks like a first-person game where you're kind of wielding some sort of hammer.
Yeah, it was hard to,
and you're kind of going through portals into different worlds.
Yeah,
and they look like some kind of like inspired by Minecraft, a lot of like blocks sort of world, but it looks like very large worlds, and we don't know much more about it at the moment, but I'm definitely intrigued by what this is.
It's got a sort of No Man's Sky colouring to it, hasn't it? It's got that sort of look, and in terms of the depth and the expansion of it, it doesn't really tell us exactly how big the world is, but the amount of portals that there are, I'm guessing that it's quite expansive. But it's hard to say. We're a bit limited on details, but it looks good. It does look good.
It does look good. We'll have to see. Next up, we had a music game, maybe, possibly. I'm not really sure, but. Well, you're the music expert, so tell us about this guy.
Okay, so it's a game which they've done a collaboration with Avicii, which any of you that know music should know who Avicii is.
I didn't know who he was.
He's a Scandinavian DJ. I think he's Scandinavian, but yeah, some big hits, and he's done a collaboration with this game. It looks like a sort of rhythm-based game, but it's hard to really get too much idea from what the game is actually doing. I don't think there's any sort of DJing aspect to it. I think he's just done the soundtrack to the game, and it is very much a rrhythm-based sort of game.
Yeah, but not in the sense of like a DJ Hero or Guitar Hero. Maybe more along the lines of oh god, I'm going completely blank now. What did Harmonix make before Rock Band? I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, I'm sure there's people out there that know what I'm talking about.
It's a music game.
It's a music game. But then we got to the big one everyone was waiting for.
Yes.
The ones where we made our bets.
Quite literally the big one.
No Man's Sky. Another trailer, this time kind of with a voiceover explaining kind of a little bit about what you see and kind of what it's all about. Now, the big thing leading up to Paris Games Week was that rumour that we broke. Well, no, we didn't break.
We didn't break it, but...
Forbes. Was it Forbes?
Forbes. It was Forbes.
They broke it. We reported it. The internet went crazy for our video.
It did.
It's not out this week, unfortunately. So
there was a rumor.
Ash, you were wrong,
and I was. There was a rumor it was coming out the same day as Halo 5, which was last week. But that didn't happen.
No. So Dan, as always, going for the safe option, got it right as always. We did get a release date though. A release window, June 2016. So not quite as. Because I was saying, we were talking about it was on the Colbert Show, and it was like, why is it on the Colbert Show unless it's imminent?
Yeah.
So that's why we start thinking, well, maybe it is imminent, but it's like, is there really any time for it to release this year? Probably wasn't. You got your Call of Duties, you got your Star Wars Battlefront, you had the Uncharted collection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Summer game, I think it's a perfect summer game.
Oh, great, yeah.
Because that's the kind of, now we're getting to the stage where summer isn't quite as quiet as it once was. But it's still quieter.
It is. It's one of those games where clearly it's going to require a lot of dedication, a lot of your hours, a lot of exploration.
Yeah.
If you don't know about this game, it is just endless. It's an infinity game almost.
I think they've said it would take you something like 2.3. Was it 2.3 or 233 billion years to visit every planet in the game, even if you only spent a second on every planet or something.
It's quite ridiculous. You can't really get... It's a bit like the universe, and it quite literally is the universe. You can't really get your head around how big this is for space exploration. You're going to need the whole summer just to play this game.
But with it being summer, it is possible. We'll get to it in a little minute. But VR obviously is a big thing for next year. Maybe with it being that much further out, maybe it will be a VR game, which...
Quite possibly. They haven't said it's going to be,
no.
But potentially.
It'd be a good VR.
It would be a good VR game.
They need that one to be a system seller. Maybe this is it, maybe it's not. We'll get to VR in a minute, because we're going just through the conference in chronological order. Next up was easily the best game of the show from Housemarque. Housemarque, if you didn't know, made Resogun, the greatest game on the PS4. And they dropped a trailer which you might have thought was maybe Alienation, the game that's supposed to be coming out very shortly from them, but instead it was a brand new game called Matterfall. Now the trailer looks cool. It shows nothing about what the actual game is though, because there's no gameplay.
True,
but
it doesn't.
We can assume it's probably going to be a twin stick shooter because that's what Housemarque do.
Yeah, it's quite an epic trailer. It really does. I think it does very good for the game. It really sells it and certainly gets you quite excited for the game.
I'm excited. Just the credentials of the studio are enough for me to sell it, and I'll be looking forward to whatever this game is. Hopefully end of 2016, maybe 2017. Though it depends how much they've got left to do. On
the fact that we've not seen any form of gameplay and we don't really know too much about it.
And they've still got Alienation to come.
It's going to be probably 2017.
Yeah. Then we saw Ratchet and Clank, the return of some of our favourite platform characters of the
it's a nice game.
of the PS2 era, and obviously this is coming back not in collaboration, but it kind of in cohesion with the release of the animated film next year. So Ratchet and Clank is going to be around a lot. There's going to be a lot of marketing, a lot of opportunity to make money on all sorts of merchandise, no doubt.
Yeah,
the game looks good. They were always fine. They weren't my favourite kind of characters back in the day, but they were always...
It's just a nice sort of vibrant, fun platform game. And I think every now and again you need one of those.
I agree. Then we've got possibly Sony's biggest game of next year. We haven't... And that's in the same year of Uncharted 4. But this was actually Horizon Zero Dawn, the game being made by Guerrilla Games, who previously made the Killzone series. This one we saw first at E3. It's kind of an open world action RPG. Seems like a post-apocalyptic world where kind of the world has kind of gone back to its more kind of natural habitats, but then there's like these weird kind of dinosaur robots and technology is a lot further along. But it looks really, really interesting.
It's we haven't seen probably not a game that appeals to me maybe as much as it does to you. But clearly this is going to be another big game.
It is. I mean, I don't know. It's early days, but Sony are looking for the next big franchise to follow on from possibly Uncharted, because Naughty Dog keeps saying that this is the end for them. Whether or not Sony say it's the end for Uncharted or not, but if Naughty Dog aren't making it, it's not going to be the same, is it? Realistically, so maybe this is it. I mean, it's very early days, but a lot of people, not just me, but people who know a lot more about video games than me, like in the industry, think that this could be something special. So stay tuned for more.
Yeah, definitely. As and when we get more info, we'll obviously let you guys know.
Then there was a couple of expansion packs announced. We'll brush over those briefly, but Bloodborne, The Old Hunters, is coming out November 24th. This is basically more Bloodborne for fans of that game from earlier this year. Ash, you were a big fan from memory, weren't you?
Yeah, all 10 minutes that I played it before putting it back in its case.
Yeah. Maybe this one might appeal to you a little bit more. Drive Club, really good racing game from Evolution Studios. Yeah. Some people didn't think maybe it was that good because it got a lot of bad PR with its launch, but it is a good racing game.
It is a great racing game. It got off on the wrong foot, unfortunately. It had a lot of issues, a lot of problems that needed fixing. But when they were fixed, it's a great racing game.
It is,
and it's up there with Forza, absolutely.
And anyway, the expansion for this game now is Drive Club Bikes. So if you're more of a fan on racing on two wheels rather than four, then this is now an option. Not only is it an expansion for Drive Club, it can also be purchased as a standalone game. But if you do own Drive Club, you get it for £12 or $11.99 versus the £16 as a standalone. So there is, they do reward kind of their existing customers, as it were, which is
that is nice.
Yeah. So I will definitely be checking it out at some point. Uncharted. It's not a Sony show without some Uncharted.
It had to be.
This time they used it as an opportunity to show us a multiplayer trailer. Which
because we've not really seen a lot.
We've not seen any of that. Obviously, the beta is 4 weeks away. Start of December.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
So, what did you think of the trailer? I thought
it's nice. I mean, it's so much better than the Uncharted multiplayer that we've seen before. This is. I mean, it looks great. It's fast paced, but I like the way it's different from the in-game play. There seems to be a lot more maneuverability. I don't know whether we'll see all of that in the Uncharted 4 career mode. That hasn't been announced, but it looks great. It does look good.
It's good that they know that it's not the multiplayer in this isn't going to be like a Call of Duty. I know it's a third-person game, so it's already different off that, but they don't just do normal kind of shooting death matches. They try to add their own little quirks and twists to the game to make it its own experience. We saw that in The Last of Us with their multiplayer, and it looks like they're going to do the same again. So we'll have that to enjoy.
It's hard for me to not be positive about Uncharted, really, isn't it?
I don't think you're allowed to say a bad word, are you?
Not really.
Then we saw a couple of other games which I was not overly excited about. First up was Gravity Rush 2, which is coming to PS4 next year. Now, there wasn't necessarily a problem with this game. The Gravity Rush 1 came out on the PS Vita, but just the trailer they showed to me just looked like a remastered version of the Vita. But they're already doing the remastered version of the Vita. So, like, is this going to be Gravity Rush 2 or is it going to be more like Gravity Rush 1.5?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I know what you mean.
Then
Gravity Rush is a good game, though.
Yeah. And then we had Dreams for Media Molecule. They made the Little Big Planet games. A lot of people obviously know those games, enjoy those games. They also made Tearaway, which was a Vita game, came to PS4 earlier this year. Dreams, I can't quite understand what's going on. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just, it seems to be, well, like the idea is to get you are in dreams and you kind of your imagination runs wild, like it can do in the creating worlds of Little Big Planet.
Yes.
But is that the only part of the game? Because the bit of Little Big Planet I liked was playing the stock levels, not building the levels. And I'm just worried that Dreams is going to be more like a Project Spark, where you have to build the game. And I don't want that. I want to play a game.
I know what you mean. I mean, whilst it's not really a game that would interest me too much, I think the concept is nice, and the title's good. You know, Dreams, as we all know, they incorporate so many random weird things that it's quite nice that you've got that. I think it's definitely reminiscent of Little Big Planet, but we need to wait for a few more details in terms of what the objective of the game is. We know what it contains, but we don't actually know what the objective.
The potential's there, though.
Oh, absolutely.
But we just need to wait and see.
Clearly, there's a lot of demand for those sorts of games.
Now, this was the segment of PlayStation VR that they went into. They kicked off the show with Rigs, which we saw first. Did we see it at E3? I'm sure we've seen a trailer before.
We have, I think, as part of the. It might have been. No, was it E3?
It might have just been a standalone thing. I'm not sure, but or TGS or something. Anyway, this actually really excited me because I thought this was just Titanfall, but in a VR headset. But it now actually seems more like Titanfall crossed with Rocket League in a VR headset. Which now makes me more excited. Because like the mode they show off at the conference was, it's not about killing the people to get the points. It's actually about jumping through a ring in the centre of the arena,
like
to score a goal.
Yeah,
and I like that. I mean, I'm sure there will be like deathmatch modes, but this other mode kind of was quite interesting to me.
Yeah.
The way they're trying to sell it, like it's like a professional arena sport, kind of like Rocket League is and stuff. It intrigues me very much.
VR in general intrigues me, I think. I'm really excited to see some of these games that are coming out now and trying to imagine almost what it'll be like playing those games with a VR experience. I'm like, it can't come soon enough, really.
Well, it went from that one, which intrigued me, and then this one looked even more, or just as, was Robinson The Journey. This is being made by Crytek, and we don't see much. It's very much a teaser trailer, but it looks like you're a boy in kind of some sort of strange planet, and the planet kind of has dinosaurs inhabiting it.
Yes,
so
it does.
It was very much a teaser. You're basically kind of told by like this robot to stay alive or not get crushed, I think is actually what he says.
Follow him,
and not get crushed. And that's all we see at the moment. But the one thing I noticed was visually it looked very impressive.
Visually, it looks very good. It's that sort of Jurassic Park look.
Yeah. And Crytek are known for having pretty games. They made the first Far Cry. They made the Crysis games. You know, they obviously were the owners of the Crysis engine. So you can no doubt that this game will be pretty at the very least.
Yeah.
2 more VR games before we then get into the final kind of trio of headline acts.
Yeah, VR was a really big focus. Wasn't it?
We then had Until Dawn: Rush of Blood.
Yeah.
Which I don't know about this one, but you're on a roller coaster and you're basically it's a rail shooter, literally on the rail shooter because you are on a roller coaster. I don't know how good that game will be in terms of like it's got the Until Dawn name on it, but it just seems like I don't know how much fun you can have with an on the rail shooter. Like it's kind of like limited.
Yeah, but I think the VR side of it will add to it. Again, it could be another one of those games where for you it might not seem very appealing, but actually you would enjoy it. And then for me, I think, well, it sounds really good, but then it comes out, and I think that's.
I think I'd enjoy it, but would I enjoy it for more than half an hour? Is my question.
Okay, I see your point.
And then closing out the VR, or what appeared to be closing out the VR, was Battlezone. This was the reimagined kind of remaster, remake, or bringing back of a classic game. You probably might have recognised the name. It used to be in arcades kind of back in the 80s and stuff like that.
It's, tanks.
Tanks, basically,
Tanks.
So that was it on the VR front. Then they came out on stage again and went back to 3 big games to end the show. First up was Gran Turismo. We were kind of half expecting this to come at some point. A bit surprising it maybe came here rather than maybe like in a TGS in Japan where obviously it's from, but it's not called Gran Turismo 7. It's going to be called Gran Turismo Sports. It's going to be coming at some point next year. There's going to be a beta in spring, so we can start playing the game there and then. They kind of basically just normal marketing. It's going to be better looking than ever. Everything's going to be better because they can now use the PS4 rather than the PS3. So it's the first game on the PS4 from Polyphony Gran Turismo series. So interesting. But then the big twist at the very end was it's going to be compatible with PlayStation VR. So that could be the system seller. We talked earlier about the system seller.
Yeah, you need a big franchise, you need a big title to really launch VR. I think
Gran Turismo could be it. Could be. I think people might underestimate how big Gran Turismo is. It is actually Sony's most successful series ever. Like, it sells more than Uncharted. It sells more than everything that Sony does. It's huge, especially in Europe and in Japan. It does really well as well. So I'm intrigued. I'm starting to think that I might need to get this VR headset. So
mine will be pre-ordered as soon as it can be.
And then we had 2 more games closing out, both from French developers. First up was Wild, which is like an action survival game. Basically, it looks like kind of not prehistoric, but kind of going back to more kind of ground-rooted, like you're like a hunter with a bow and that, and you have this ability to kind of your spirit can interact with animals.
Yeah, you can.
You see this where you kind of take control of an eagle to go and like capture a snake because you need some medicine, and then there's another part where you're kind of riding a grizzly bear and stuff like that. So it hasn't sold me yet, but it's
I would agree. It hasn't sold me, but I think it's one of those games where clearly we're going to be seeing more and more about this game. It's still relatively early, and perhaps we will see something that will intrigue us.
And then, closing out the show, nearly finished topic number 1 of the news, 25 minutes in.
I know.
It was pretty much on the cards. Quantic Dreams, the French studio, their game for PS4 has been announced. It's going to be called Detroit Become Human. This is, some of you may or may not know, they did a tech demo back in 2012 called the Kara tech demo, which was about like kind of an android with emotions, and it was really, really well received. So basically, based on that, they've gone, let's kind of let's take on her story to the next level, and it's going to be about this android kind of out living in the real world and seeing that how humans actually are and how horrible they are and how she deals with it.
Yeah. Out of all the games, This is the one I'm most excited for.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
It does look really good. Heavy Rain was a very good game. So the studio definitely has the ability to make really strong narrative.
This game really, it's got so much emotion, I think, hasn't it? It's really got that emotion in the trailer, and it really sells it so well. You get drawn in instantly into the story just from the trailer, and that is what grips you.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a good trailer as well.
Absolutely.
That's definitely one to keep an eye on. Detroit, hopefully 2016, but again, possibly more than likely, maybe not everything can come out 2016. So there might even be a 2017 game.
Yeah.
And that was it for the conference.
It's a good job it's a leap year next year, because we need that extra day.
We do to play all these games. So that's item number 1 on the news. Done with. We'll. This show's probably going to run a little bit longer this week, but there was a lot to cover. We will move on to the next segment of the news, which was the PlayStation Plus games for the month. Not going to go into huge details of these this month. I'll give you the lineup though. On the PS4, you've got The Walking Dead Season 2. You've got Magicka 2, and you've also got Dragon Fin Soup. Then on the PS3, you've got Mass Effect 2, Beyond Good and Evil, and also Dragon Fin Soup will be crossed by eventually. And then your Vita games are Dragon Fin Soup is on the Vita, and then Invisibles. So I don't know. Any of those stand out? My personal opinion is it's quite a weak month this month. Mass Effect is alright.
Yeah, it is. The Walking Dead's quite nice to have.
If you've played Season 1. What if you don't have Season 1? That's the put.
True.
Xbox gave us Season 1, so it was good. You could go into it, but this...
Yeah.
You need to play Season 1,
yeah.
I think, because it's the next stage of the story, and it kind of looks back on some things that happened in Season 1, so you need to play Season 1.
Okay. But we had it on... You said we had it on Xbox.
So you can play it on Xbox and then go and get the trophy. And if you like it, you can even buy it again to get the Easy Platinum, and then you can play Season 2.
Yeah, I could do.
It's a very easy platinum.
Maybe.
You platinum it by completing the game.
Yeah, I've got enough platinums.
Yeah. So yeah, that's your lineup of 3 games this month. Not the best month. Hopefully they're saving the big ones for December, for Christmas. But we've got enough good games to buy this month anyway, so you don't really need 3 games. But it's always nice to have.
It is nice to have. Yeah.
We've also got the Xbox ones as well, games with gold. These ones, Xbox wins this month. I know I'm a little bit maybe Xbox biased, but I like to think I'm pretty 50-50. I play just as many games on each console, but Xbox is very close to my heart. We've got Numa Breath of Life on the Xbox One for the whole of November. We talked about this before. Yeah, I completed this game. It's only about a 2-3 hour puzzle game. Not that long, but it is fun. Does make you think. Some of the later puzzles you do have to kind of think quite hard to work them out. And it's very pretty. It's in the Unreal Engine.
Definitely.
I know you've talked about teased with going with it.
I know. Well, I've started playing more puzzle games lately, but being very particular about the ones because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that I've been picking up, and some of them I really do like, and especially after playing.
Yeah, that one. The Nose.
The black and white one. The
Unfinished one.
No, not Unfinished one. Although that's very good, by the way. The little boy walked through the.
Oh, Limbo.
Limbo, thank you.
Yeah.
It was there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, puzzle games, definitely. I mean, we see lots of them, but no, Numa, I know you said was very good.
Yeah, it is good. We've then also got, this won't be available till November 16th. It will replace The Walking Dead, I believe, when that leaves. This was Night Squad. It looks like a party game, 1 to 8 players. Basically, there's a soccer mode, there's kind of night game modes, stuff like that, so that's fine. And then on the 360 side, for the first half of the month, you've got Dirt 3, very good racing game. I've played it, I own it, I enjoyed it. And then the second half of the month, we've got Dungeon Siege 3. I don't own it, haven't played it, but
don't have a 360.
But remember, these games now, as with last month,
they have compatibility.
They're all becoming backwards compatible. Yeah. So even if you don't have a 360 and you have a 1, make sure you download them, because they will be added to your console and you'll be able to play them from November 12th, which is the date we had announced this week. Moving straight into the next subject of when the new Xbox One experience will be going up. New dashboard, backwards compatibility coming in November 12th. So download those games and you will have those to play.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the new dashboard.
The new dashboard looks good. It looks very nice. I've always hated the Xbox One dashboard. Just ever since I've had it, not liked it.
I feel for you because you don't have the Kinect, and I was just telling you before, but if anyone hasn't had an Xbox One before, the original dashboard was very much designed, I think, with Kinect in mind. I didn't have a problem with it because I always just use voice commands and kind of... But the menus are very layered. There's lots of to go into. So I think they were almost designed with, well, it doesn't really matter because we can just talk to it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I've got the new dashboard already as part of the preview program. It's very, very good. I do like it. It looks sleeker and it's just easier to navigate with the controller as well. And everything's there. You can kind of jump straight down. You can be anywhere and you can just press the right trigger and it will drop you straight down into your pins with like your games and your apps and everything like that.
Yeah, I like that.
So that is nice. And also Burnout Paradise is coming as backwards compatibility. It was confirmed this week to tie in line with the release date. So if you want Burnout Paradise, 12th of November, Xbox One.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, to close out the news, we had details of Mirror's Edge, the game that was originally coming out in February, and we've been talking recently that February was getting a bit busy with Far Cry Primal, Battleborn, Deus Ex, Mirror's Edge, and there was another one as well, I'm sure. But luckily for us, well, unless you're really excited to play Mirror's Edge, it's been delayed for a couple of months. It's now going to come out on May 24th. Normal sort of stuff, this extra development time will help us, to make the game better, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
you can read a full
spiel.
There was a blog post on it. I'm not going to read it all to you guys, but we've said this 100 times now. Well, maybe not 100, but a lot of times.
Yeah.
Delays aren't a bad thing. Mirror's Edge Catalyst will be better for it.
Yeah, we don't mind. We've got plenty of games that we can be playing in the meantime, so it suits us just fine. And we would much rather have a game that's working, bug-free, glitch-free, when it is released.
Exactly.
Even if it does come with a 9 gig day one patch.
Halo 5, that is, he's talking about. Moving swiftly into the games for this week, the games that you can play. Obviously, the big release, Halo 5 Guardians on the Xbox One. Not had a chance to really get into it yet myself for various reasons. I won't give you the whole sob story, but I haven't really had a chance to play it yet.
Yeah, so I was very excited to go and pick up my pre-order on Tuesday morning last week. And but then I thought I really need to play Halo 4, considering I had only played 1, 2 and 3. So I'm still working through Halo 4 and hopefully we'll finish it today or tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Halo 5 will always be there for you. You don't need to.
It will.
Another week's not going to kill you.
Exactly. Well, potentially because Call of Duty's out, but
Halo 5 is more important than Call of Duty.
It is. But
so yes,
we've got to play them all.
That's obviously the big game this week. It looks really, really impressive. The reviews have been mostly positive. There's been some criticisms about, I haven't really spoken to you about this yet, but the fact that you don't actually get to be Master Chief that much. It's mainly Locke, from what I hear. I mean, that's not a spoiler. It's just, it is what it is. Which is a bit disappointing because it was very much hyped up to be this.
I've stayed away from the internet with regards to Halo because I don't want to ruin anything.
I haven't read anything about the story,
but
that's the only thing I've heard of. It was in reviews. People have noted it. But, as long as Locke is still interesting, then that's not necessarily the worst thing.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
WWE 2K16 is the other big AAA of the week. The annualized wrestling title from 2K. It looks really good. I've watched a few Let's Plays on it. I haven't really been into the wrestling series since the SmackDown games.
I was going to say, do you know what? I haven't either, but a part of me kind of wants to pick up a new wrestling game.
Yeah, well, this is a good one to do because they've got over 100. The roster's huge this year. It's like 107 people. They've got all like the people like Cactus Jack and like all the classics in there as well.
I haven't watched wrestling for 20 years, I would say. But I don't know. Just I remember the old classic wrestling games on the Nintendo and stuff like that. I mean, they were really, really back in the day. And I'm tempted to pick up a wrestling game.
There you go, 2K16.
Yeah, I'm tempted.
If you do, we'll do a Let's Play.
I think so.
It'll be good fun. Yeah. Well, it probably won't be good fun because neither of us will know what any of the controls are.
Nah, but that'll be half the fun.
Yeah. It's fine. We'll do a hardcore match, but it's just be about bashing square to or whatever the button is.
Yeah, well, it's normally just button bashing, hoping to pull off a super combo at some point by getting the right combination.
All right, then we've got Darksiders 2, the Definity edition.
I like it,
which automatically makes me like the game just because of the great pun in the name.
Play on words.
Yeah. There you go. This is it's kind of a fantasy action game, fast-paced combat. Watching the trailers, I have seen a bit of Darksiders. I'm not going to pretend to be a fan of the series.
Yeah.
But the combat looks very fast-paced. Devil May Cry is what you said.
I said, it looks very reminiscent of Devil May Cry. Yeah.
It looks like you battle. I'm not going to butcher it. There's probably people out there that are fans of the series going, "Shut up, Matt! You don't know what you're talking about." But it looks like you battle giant bosses and stuff, and it looks pretty. The reviews are mostly solid of the original game. So if you are waiting for the remastered copy, that's there. Or maybe you were waiting for the enhanced edition of Definity Original Sin. This very much looks... It's an RPG game, kind of top down, but very much looks like a game that was originally designed for the PCs, come over. And our experience on those is they don't always work well with the controller.
I just find them fiddly, Like there's so many... places to go, and with a PC you've got your shortcuts, you've got a lot more options,
a lot more buttons to press.
Exactly. So controller compatible, these games struggle, but I'm not going to criticise it because I haven't played it.
Then we've got the Drive Club bikes we talked about earlier, so that's fine. Obviously that was out. I don't know if I said that, but it was out now when it was announced. So it is out. You can go and buy it right this moment in time. We've then got MX versus ATV Supercross Encore. I had no idea they were still making these games. I remember having one on PS2 and GameCube era, so they've been going for at least 15 years now.
Yeah, I mean, to me this looks like maybe one of the better ones. We've seen some really hash jobs of these kind of games over the last couple of years.
Is it going to be a better one though? Is it really going to be made from the ground up?
I'm comparing it with some pretty poor games that we've seen in the last 24 months. I still don't think for things like this. I still don't think it can be Trials. Personally, I mean, Trials Fusion is the game when it comes to bike and motocross. Yeah.
I was just going to look on and see if there was a Metacritic score of it.
Okay.
But I don't think there is. It's got 6 out of 10 on Steam.
Live research in action.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
My internet's not fast enough to do live research.
Matt's Wi-Fi is just not keeping up with the pace.
It's no scores. Yeah, it's obviously it's only just out.
I mean, it's probably a game that it would interest you. I think by the looks of it, it would interest me maybe for a short while.
If you're a big kind of Crossroad fan, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It probably hasn't got the long-term playability of several days, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
All right, 3 more games. Just little games, nothing really exciting here, so we'll rush through them. Bombing Busters. This is already out on PS4 in the summer. We talked about it then. It's basically a Bomberman rip-off. Almost spot on. This is now actually available on the Vita, which probably is somewhere where it'd feel more at home. This type of game I feel is better.
Absolutely.
Not that there's anything wrong with it on the PS4, but it's the kind of game that transcends well to being mobile.
It does.
On the go.
It's a good sort of pick up, play a bit, put it down. Yeah.
But then going in the other direction, we've then got Marvel Puzzle Quest for the PS4, which is one of these little mobile games where you have to match 3 coloured gems in a row to destroy them.
Yeah.
So it's basically that, but with Marvel characters on the side, and I guess when you blow them up, they the pictures move into the middle like they're battling each other. Don't buy it. And then you've got Battle Trivia Knockout, which is a trivia game. It looks fine, but they're trying to make it into some sort of kind of Battle to the Death serious thing. Just be a trivia game.
It actually reminded me a lot of Fruit Ninja, even though it's a trivia game and it's nothing to do with Fruit Ninja. Just the look of it, that sort of...
And the voiceover.
Yeah.
Which you're not going to do because that would be racist.
Yeah.
But it just seemed to be just be a trivia game. I mean, they're obviously trying to stand out, but at the end of the day, it's...
To me, it's just not a big game for a console. I mean, there are games out there that are doing the sort of thing. If you want a trivia game, get the Hasbro whatever pack with Monopoly and Trivial Pursuit. If you want a trivia game, get Trivial Pursuit.
If you want the more humour-based games, which maybe this game's going for, you also got like the Jackbox party packs and stuff. Which
there are games
There's so many out there
that are well made for trivia, not these.
So there we go. We powered through that last.
Are we done?
Yeah, we are done.
Oh.
Good enthusiasm of the show. Can I leave now? No, you can't leave yet. You got to
shattered. So much information.
It's a bit of a fast one, information overload today. But hopefully you've all enjoyed it. But before we close out, we can't leave without having our game of the week. So Ash.
Yeah. Well, I picked up Halo 5, and Halo 5 I've been dying for ages to come out, so I've got to go with Halo 5. Even though I actually might pick up the wrestling WWE 2K16 as well, but Halo 5 is got to be my pick.
I've got to pick Halo 5.
Hands down.
It's like... The only thing that disappoints me about Halo 5 is that I have too much pride and principle to buy the Legendary Edition. It's 200 quid, and it was a game exclusive. And I contacted Game because it comes with like this amazing statue of like Master Chief versus Locke, and they say they don't charge VAT to us, but they will not amend the price. So basically, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna, like, I should only be paying 170 quid for this. I'm not paying 200. I refuse to. So my pure pride means that I don't get it. So it was a completely pointless thing. Or like the show was already long enough, just spouting more nonsense. But
add that in.
Halo 5.
Yeah. It's got to be. I think there are a couple
Drive Club bikes though.
Drive Club bikes again. I think we'll look to try and maybe pick that up. And we both really love Drive Club, big Drive Club fans, and we haven't had a good bike game for a while.
Yeah, hopefully this will be different.
I hope so. I think
I'm intrigued to try it at least. Give it a chance.
With loving Drive Club, hopefully they've used the same sort of engine, the same tracks, same graphics and everything, so it's going to look quite similar, I'm hoping, to the original Drive Club game.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now you can go. So thank you very much everyone for sticking with us. Like I said, I know it was a fast one with lots of information. Could have given you even more information, like for the example that Need for Speed is now available as part of EA Access for free, so you can play that for 10 hours. Or the fact that the PS4 sold 29 million copies so far, so well done Sony. But anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you for...
More information on the website.
Yeah, there's always more. You watch next week, there'll be fuck all news. We'll just be sitting here so what do you have for lunch?
Yeah.
But no, let us know in the comments down below what your favourite game was from the Paris Games Week. Let us know what you think about the kind of collections of PS Plus and Games with Gold, and if you're enjoying Halo 5 or any of the other games this week. But for now, Ash, thank you.
It's a wrap.
And everyone out there, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.